Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to build a model city. One of my favorite things ever is city building. I absolutely love it. I love all that kind of thing. I love models as well. Combining those two things into one seemed like the greatest thing ever. I couldn't resist getting some, well, I actually ordered myself quite a lot because I wanted to build my very own little city. The way it works is you have a little base plate and then you can plug model buildings into it. But you don't just stop there. You slowly connect up more and more pieces into your city and it grows out from there. But we're going to do our own and we're going to build a whole city from scratch. So we're going to start out with some of the road pieces. At the very center of our city is going to be the main sort of hub network. Having this like big sort of roundabout piece, you know, this is how everyone's going to travel around the city. So coming off to the side, I guess like, you know, you want it near a lot of the bigger buildings. You want something like the taller skyscrapers, you know, the busier part. That's where you're going to need the best infrastructure. So I guess like you don't want to be too near the roundabout because that's going to be very noisy. So these people, they're going to have a really noisy time of it. As you get further away from this, you're kind of going to be doing okay. Also, I want this to be sort of our more like densely packed part of town. So I think if we add a few more skyscrapers and stuff here, this is like the big business district. And so this is definitely kind of, you know, still like a noisy area. There's still going to be a lot of traffic nearby. We're actually going to need to get some more roads coming around here. What we could do is take a piece and put it in. And I have like a little tunnel. Do you want like the tunnel to disappear? Or maybe we want to keep it coming along and we can have it zoom around the side of the buildings. We have like more and more road sections. So maybe like one of these guys and like turn into the city. Into like a sort of mega city. Right now, it isn't that big. It's just like a small little suburb with, well, not really a suburb. There's not many suburbs that have, I don't know, these are like 20, 30 story buildings, maybe even more. Suddenly now, I'm not entirely sure because we're going to have two big roads running parallel to each other, and I don't really like that as much. I think maybe if we have the tunnel come down like this, we'll have another road continue looping up, and that can then come around it. This also helps to keep, you know, more of the traffic away from our bigger buildings. But once again, I think, you know, we'll get some smaller buildings in directly beside these guys. By the busy road. Like, you know, that's not prime real estate. That's definitely a worse place to be. So we've got like a little bit of our busy city centre, which is slowly taking shape. You know, it requires some work. Not many people live here at the moment. But we can also get a bit of terrain in here. So here we go. We have a little bit of water. You know, every good city needs a good river. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that's a blanket rule. But I think having water beside your city is kind of like a cool thing. The great river Potomkin running straight through the center of the city of Mega City Tom. Maybe that's what we'll call it. So you may be wondering, but Tom, how are people possibly going to get across the water? This looks like a disaster. You have already planned this terribly. Well, do not fear, because we have some of the finest engineers and also the cutest little models. And so we can get ourselves our very own little suspension bridge, which is sort of, you know, it's leading out of the city right now, or into, depending on which way you're going. So the beautiful River Potomkin is already taking shape. You know, it's pretty big actually. If you look at that, like, man, compared to the houses, it is enormous. But we need to worry a little bit more about what's going on actually in the city. So I feel like if we keep building around here, I kind of want to expand out our road network. Maybe we'll get some buildings in there. We'll worry about exactly what's going on there in a second. But I sort of want to get a few more skyscrapers down. Just like, I don't know, some of these guys. Actually, yeah, because now this road can run directly through the middle of the city. Right in here, like this. Perfect. That is like a hyper freeway going through the center. This has got like a fashionable little district. You have beautiful views of the great River Potomkin. You're by the center of the city. Good access to the freeway by here. Amazing. That is exactly what you're after. So we can go pretty wild, and we can make this river much longer than it currently is. Longer? Wider. So we can make the river much wider right now. So now this is like a massive river. And we have the beautiful Platinum Bridge, as it's known. in these parts. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the name we're going for. So maybe we should be more worried about actually building some more stuff within our city. You know, because right now we have as much water as we actually have city, which isn't a problem. But you know, we want people to come and live here. We want this to be a titan of industry, not just a regular place. So yeah, let's build our road network up a bit more. I think if we kind of continue along this sort of direction, maybe we could even just turn straight up into here. If we just come straight along a bit like this, and I need like a few more tiles to sort of build out. What we could do with all the curvy roads is sort of make like is a big loop fun? Is that good? I'm not entirely sure. This road network is pretty confusing. I'm not exactly, because you kind of zoom all around and then come around here and loop up, and who knows. Anything can happen in Mega City Tom. It is absolutely wild. But, you know, I think we're okay like that for now. And maybe what we want to do is just like just fill this in with a few more little buildings. And maybe just like fill out, you know, the burbs a little bit more. You know, they're still really densely packed buildings. These are like 3-story high blocks of flats, 4 or 5 stories. But, you know, it's pretty dense. So dense. And I guess like just keep this like freeway going along the waterfront. I'm not entirely sure if I like that as an aesthetic, but it kind of works. It's kind of okay. Maybe put in some more waterfront apartments. And, you know, because the river, although we're working on like a block-based format, it doesn't have to be completely straight. You know, we can kind of weave in and out a little bit. Okay, the city's kind of taking shape right now. So we're just going to fill in the river with a couple more of these water tiles. Now we've got like a nice grid shape. And actually we have a few other things that we can start adding in onto the river. And I think maybe keeping it to the other side of the river might make sense. Coming down here, what we could do is actually start putting in a bit of industry. Like we've got sort of like docks and harbors and things like that. Maybe if we just like pull these guys down like that. And we even have a special little harbor tile that just increases the sort of the walk of it. We're going to just continue the road along, and over here it's going to get like dense again. So this side is probably going to have started out as, you know, the harbor part of the city. There's going to be more industry over here, whereas the other side is going to be more sort of the commercial side. So there's going to be houses. We've got our little docks. So we also have a very special little industry piece that we can put down as well to show there's like a bit of industry going on. I think having that near the waterfront seems like a good idea. Here we go, right by there. So, you know, these guys, they love a bit of easy access to the waterfront. You know, they want to get their chemicals in and out. There's all kind of stuff going on. And I guess like when, you know, ChemCorp was being developed right down here, they probably wanted to get like, you know, their workers in nice and quickly so they can have themselves a nice big block of flats right next to the chemical plant. Perfect. They've got their own little car park. Everything is superb over there at, what did we call it? ChemCorp? TomCorp? Let's call it TomCorp. Everything else is being named some kind of Tom pun. And I think, you know, TomCorp sounds good. So the other side of the river, compared to, you know, Mega City Tom, I guess every part of this place is Mega City Tom, but, you know, I guess you've got the factory town and then, you know, Tom City. You know, this is the more fun area. But these guys, they need a bit more work. I think a little bit of extra river, some more houses, maybe a bit of extra road. They can have whatever they like. Maybe beside where the factories are, we might even want to give them like some bigger buildings. You know, this can be the sort of like transport headquarters. And these are the head of chemicals, something like that. You know, they keep track of all the chem and stuff that's coming in and out. And maybe also to try and keep everyone happy because of all of the terrible chemicals they're using, they have a lovely little park. You know, they put it back. It's the massive chemical spill of Mega City Tom Memorial Park. There's like statues of chemicals everywhere. Sounds wonderful. What a place to be. So we need to get a few more like city blocks down, and I kind of think I want to build out sort of this side of the city, like make this bit a bit fancier. I like ever since I had that idea of putting skyscrapers beside the water, I've just been completely sold. Just note, I did not originally come up with that idea. I think other people might have done that before, but I do like that idea. So we're just gonna kind of just build out this sort of area. And I guess like maybe we want like really, really swanky ones, like really big skyscrapers. Do you want to go like there? Or do you want to like continue along? Maybe we do like come out a bit. That does give our river like a lot more of a curve. Maybe it can curve back around. Or we can do it like lengthways. And like, because those are then like really big buildings. And then this area is going to be, it's going to be very dense. Maybe we won't go too wild just yet. If we want to kind of like smash that out a bit more in a second, we can. We can keep expanding the river. That's absolutely fine. We're allowed to do that. For now, I think those buildings are good exactly where they are. That kind of like rounds it off fairly nicely. Here, the old town, factory town, is still pretty thin on the ground. It's quite sparse. I think, you know, it could do with a bit of loving. But I think we need to kind of like, you know, grow the city out in other directions first. So we need to move this road by here, back around, and then maybe even just send it off in this direction so it can get up some mischief later. And that might give us a nice opportunity to sort of just add some more like suburbs over here. I use the word suburb a lot. Not entirely sure if I know exactly what it means. I just recklessly say it whenever, you know, it's houses that are just, you know, not super dense, not super sparse. But we could get those guys in there. Or maybe we get ourselves like a little... Let's get ourselves like a little compound of flats. You know, these are going to be slightly more affordable living. You know, it's pretty densely packed, but I think they'll be okay. So I've got to say, I've super sold myself on having some skyscrapers on that waterfront. Every time I look over at it, I just think, man, what a cool idea. You know, that's exactly where I'd want to have my business. And I guess we kind of want to get like some really, really big guys on there. Like, do you want to keep just having that river going at an angle? Like, have it sort of creeping out? Would it make more sense to sort of come back in one? And so the river's got a bit of a more gentle curve to it. I reckon, pow, let's just keep going out. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? And then we just load it up with even more skyscrapers. So we have another really dense area. Really, like, busy. Like, this is where, you know, all the, you know, the mega corporations hang out. Actually, man, getting like a mega tower. That is the thing I want most. I want to have a tower that is, like, stands 2 or 3 times the height of any of these buildings. Just a really big, chunky Judge Dredd style building. That would be fantastic. So I think now Megacity Tom is really kind of taken shape. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, we've got a lot of bits to work with here. I think the old town could do with a little bit more love, as right now it's a little bit sparse. Maybe if we add in a tiny bit more infrastructure to it. We've got a little tunnel that comes out of the ground, complete with a sharp turning between some buildings. We can fill these up with more, like, you know, small scale houses. We need to continue along the what was it called? The Great Platinum Bridge. That can be a thing. You know, make sure they're all happy, and then maybe get a bit more of this like super high density housing in and around here. Like, a lot of people need to live about this place. They can have even more houses. So this area, really difficult to navigate. If you're not used to it, there's so many twists and turns. But, you know, I like that it's got a bit of contrast. You know, you've got the newer, mega, modern city, and then the, you know, the lower density, old part of the city. And I think for now, Megacity Tom is complete. So from where we started with our humble crossroads, we started building our economic centre. Suddenly the pearlescent bridge of shining glory was built across the almighty Potomkin River. Old Town started to form with its chem plant and its industry, and then we started putting skyscrapers on the waterfront. And I was pretty happy about that. Our infrastructure is fantastic. We have high density houses, we've got low density stuff. This place is amazing. Come and visit Megacity Tom!